Hey guys, Ashley here, also known as the HD fan, back with another review. And today we're talking about One Tree Hill, one of a very confusing episode from season 2, episode 20, called Lifetime Piling Up. And like I said, I wanted to give more thoughts on One Tree Hill episode, so today that's what we're doing. I'm here with a very special guest, my sister Ava, who has also been a lifetime One Tree Hill fan. And I'm going to give the floor to her on her thoughts on this episode, and then I will give mine. Sis, you have the floor.
What up, niggas? It's your girl, Asia. Also, Asia from Roll Rain Go channel. Go subscribe to my motherfucking channel. I make all types of content, cartoons, teen drama, you name it, I'll drop it. First, I just want to say, it's been a long time since I, watched the One Tree Hill. It's been a really long time. For the most part, the main teen drama I will rewatch over and over again is Degrassi. And it's not because I'm being biased or whatever it is. I actually, remember watching Degrassi growing up. So when it was, on Tubi or I was able to watch it on free on YouTube, I took my advantage and just started rewatching Degrassi. I did that during the pandemic. Probably one of the greatest decisions I ever made. It's been a while since I, watched One Tree Hill. I want to say I haven't probably watched One Tree Hill seasons 1 through 5, I might add. Probably haven't watched One Tree Hill maybe since middle school, maybe high school. So it's been really a long time, but I won't say when I do watch it that nothing clicks or that I don't remember certain shit, because I don't think my mind forgets when I watch a TV show. Period. As long as it didn't stick with me. If it's a character or something that didn't stick with me, you don't get remembered. But as far as this episode was very, very boring. Wasn't feeling the people that they had in these spots. And I feel like had this been the very first episode of One Tree Hill of this, what could have been, this show would have failed. I'm telling y'all, I'm not feeling it. They got Lucas and Nathan switching bodies. It's giving The Omen. It's giving The Conjuring. Niggas swap bodies. They're being possessed by the Holy Spirit. It's I just can't buy Lucas being this fucking jerk. And him and Peyton, they have zero chemistry with him being the bad guy and him being, the girl that's in this relationship with this bad dude. Imagine that, of them having no fucking chemistry when you watch a show with the roles being what they are, they have amazing chemistry. So it's imagine watching it where they don't have any chemistry. They're not setting up nothing in these episodes. As a matter of fact, I was very confused because I don't get it. So, was he married to Deb? Because he said something oh, if you want to marry Deb, we got all her parents' money. So it's is he married to Deb? I don't understand.
I didn't get that line either.
Because he's fooling around with Karen.
Yeah.
He's taking her to Pound Town in this episode. So I was confused when he dropped the line. Okay, so is he married to Deb? I don't understand. Why say something like that if he ain't married? It looks like this nigga living in one small ass apartment complex when he owned a fucking car dealership. Wherever the fuck they fucking at. Bitch, look, it just looked empty. Dan, I just can't buy Dan being this sweet, naive guy. I can't buy into it because Paul Johnson does a really good fucking job at being that asshole that you want to get to the screen, you want to choke him. You really want to choke Dan because he just say and do shit he extra as fuck. So it's you want to choke him, but then it's ooh, I gotta feel bad for him in this situation. He got a son who can't stand him, wife cheating, he a coach, brother treat him like shit. It's giving, ooh, I'm feeling bad for you, but it's I don't want to, because that shouldn't be his role. I can't buy Keith being a jerk. Keith literally plays no role in this episode. He's barely seen. It's giving, oh, you just a nigga who won the car. He had what, 2 scenes? 2 scenes. Deb, I can't buy Deb being Karen. I don't know. I just can't, because her character to me just don't give that. If anything, Deb was really one of those characters I feel who overstayed her welcome. I feel it was cool bringing her character in the first season. But why the fuck was she still after that? Okay, she liked to pop pills. Why she still here? Make her overdose for a rehab. Do something. Why the fuck she still here at this point? Why is she here? I just don't get why her character was still there. To the point, her character stayed so long that they put her in a relationship with, what is that nigga name? Skills. Kidding me? Are you kidding me? How old is Skills? Skills had to be 20-something because they fresh out of high school. Fresh out of college. from a milk, bro.
It was, that storyline was weird.
You like taking your grannies to Pound Town? That's like smashing your grandma or smashing your great grandmother. Think of that shit when you doing that shit. I said the same thing with young niggas who sleep with young girls. If you got a daughter that's 16, imagine you doing that to your daughter. If you could sleep with a 16-year-old and have a 16-year-old child, you're a creep, period. It's given you got creep, like you got predatory tendencies. It's just, I don't know. I think the only thing this episode did for me that I would not have been against had they put Lucas and Haley together. Like, you know, Nathan is in the role of Lucas, and, you know, Dev kind of, you know, hinted the fact that, you know, him and her would make a cute couple since they known each other for a long time, they best friends. It would just feel more right to be with someone that you know for a lifetime. I guess instead of trying to be with someone who you trying to force to get to understand you when you already have someone who gets you. I wouldn't have been against had they put Lucas and Haley in a relationship. I always said, I feel like when it comes to friendship seen on TV, they were probably the main one. I would not have been against had they made them Endgame, made them a couple. Because Lucas and Haley definitely have a lot of chemistry together when it comes to best friends. I always feel like I wouldn't have been against it. Nathan and Haley do have chemistry. So seeing them in that role where he's Lucas and she's just herself wasn't hard for me to say, oh yeah, they got chemistry. They was cute. But again, this episode does nothing. It doesn't set nothing up. It's very, very slow paced. It does nothing. Lucas is just, I won't say it's cringe, but
Chad is really trying.
I won't say it's cringe seeing him as the bad guy. I think maybe they did that because if you look at his other like early 2000 movies, he was either like the bad boy or the motorcycle or the brooding, non-speaking type. So they probably was trying to do that in here. Like, you know, they figured, oh, we already cut the nigga hair off, gave him a buzz cut. So let's just make him a jerk. But it's like, it's not given, sis. It's not given. They tried to say big one, but it failed. I was not feeling Chad being the bad guy. I just wasn't, because it's like, he just don't give jerk tendencies to me.
I agree.
He's more of a good guy. I feel like Nathan being that jerk in the beginning and then becoming someone who changes and grows because he has someone in his corner, that fits his character. What's the, yeah, whatever, see you at home, whatever, you know, because that's Nathan's favorite fucking word, whatever. You ain't gonna hear that nigga say no other word other than whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
He's mad, yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
Nigga loves saying that word. So when I heard that nigga Lucas say that shit, it just kind of whatever. There's just the fact that Dan is an alcoholic for what? Cause his wife turned to shit. Does he know his wife popping pussy to his brother? Just wanted to know. But yeah, that's my thoughts in this episode. It's kind of boring, slow paced. Definitely an episode you could skip because it does nothing to no one.
Yeah.
It just, I guess, it's an episode showing how would Nathan feel if he was in Lucas' shoes, but it's like, for what? For what?
Alright, those are her thoughts on the episode. Let me give you mine. I've always seen this episode as like a unaired pilot of what they were going to do if things went differently. And Once You Hill would have had turned out like this episode,
it would not have been a success.
Once You Hill would not have been.
It would have been canceled.
Yeah, this would have been canceled. Probably like got the one season. This episode, this review probably won't be long because there isn't really a lot
to talk about.
There isn't much to say. A lot of majority of the characters play like no role.
None.
I'm gonna call this episode an unaired pilot.
Yes, because like I said, I was mad that they showed Brooke in that one part in the shower with Nathan. And that was it. I'm like, if you're not gonna give her character or show her more throughout the episode, why even give her that spotlight?
Yeah, like why is Brooke here? Peyton pretty much plays no role
at all.
No role in it.
She's just there. The what? The girlfriend of the jerk? That's really what it was given.
Compared to the original pilot, Peyton plays a lot more of a role. You get to know much more about Peyton in the pilot.
And then it just shows they would have done nothing right because you're not setting up Peyton and Nathan at all in here. If that's what the storyline is supposed to be, there's no setup. There's no setup here. It looks like you're setting up Nathan and Haley to be your next it couple.
I mentioned that last night. Like, I'm really into like ships and romances when they're not forced or when they're not coming out of nowhere. But Once You Hill does a really good job at love stories. In the beginning they did. Towards like later seasons it got out of hand. People were just hooking up to hook up. But in this unaired pilot in episode 20 of season 2, there was like no setup to any future romances.
None.
Like it was like not so like who's gonna be Lucas's Haley in this version of this pilot? Who?
And it's just because if you're setting up
oh, Nathan's going to be with Brooke, so there could be a love triangle. That wasn't hinted. If Lucas was going to be with Haley, because that was going to be his Haley, because he's Nathan. There was no setup for that. There was no setup for nothing. It's just given Lucas is in his bag because Nathan's going to be at High Flyers, and he's trying to ban that. It's given, even Whitey, this nigga plays no role in this episode, and everybody named Mama. No, Whitey is that nigga.
Whitey played more of a big role in the pilot. This episode definitely dragged. It was really boring.
It felt like 45 minutes.
It felt really long. Like, I didn't really understand what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, why is Keith and Karen sitting together? I didn't buy any of the reverse roles at all. I didn't buy into anything. I didn't buy into Nathan being like this underdog. He didn't have a dad. It was just him and his mom. I couldn't buy into it.
I think Karen and Dev's roles in his dream or whatever should have been reversed. Karen should have been she should have been married to Keith, and Dev should have been married to Dan.
Yeah, why they just didn't do that?
And I said it because Nathan, the actor, he don't have blonde tips.
No.
Nigga hair is brunette.
Why not just have Karen be his mom? Yeah, why not just have Karen be his mom?
That would have made more sense. What's the point of saying, oh, we're going to switch lives, but they ain't switch your mama?
Switch mama.
Karen is still Lucas's mama. That's just stupid. And Eve
don't have
blonde tips.
Yeah,
she's a brunette. That don't even make sense. It don't make sense because, like I said, this nigga Keith says Dan would have married Dan without her parents. I'm like, I don't understand, but he's not married to Dan.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? What the fuck? That just confused me.
When I don't understand. Like, there's no relationship between Nathan or Keith at all.
At all.
Who he supposed to have a bond with?
There's no setup here. This show would have failed. And this is the first fucking episode. Because I'm getting more questions. I need more answers. Then more clarity. I'm probably supposed to tell you what the fuck you're supposed to, like you're about to see. Like the tension on the you're about to see. Like the fuck you're supposed to tell you what you're about to be, like what you're gonna be ahead of. This shit gave me more answers. Like wait. Plot.
Yeah.
Plot. Like so many fucking blows. Like plot.
It gave me a whole bunch of like unanswered questions and like I just said.
And then do you feel like I was like, don't you know the scene with Karen and Lucas?
Yeah.
When she said long meetings. Why was I getting a hint that Lucas might have been Keith's son? Because when they was in the bedroom, she was like,
I got that
feeling too. When he said, "Oh, I'll raise Lucas like my own," and she said he already is. Like he kind of got that nigga Keith like jerk mentality and shit like that. What if that's his kid? See the shit on?
Yeah, I know about that too.
There's much fun with, and then it's like in the video
package. Not enough
explaining. In the video package with Dan on the TV, that's supposed to be him and Deb or him and Karen.
Yeah.
Like I said, bitch still a brunette in the video, not a blonde. So. What
who did Dan fall in love with when he was in high school? Was it
Deb? Was it Karen?
I'm assuming it was Karen because she said come see our house and see how happy we are, and that's truly not the case. She's cheating. But then it was like, so how did he meet Deb and get her knocked up? How did that happen? When did that happen? Like I said, just so many questions and not enough answers.
This show would have still, it would have
tanked. Yeah, it's gonna tank. It would have had like at least probably like one season, probably a lot of episodes. Probably it would have been a Got to Go to the 2 reboot. None of the episodes, the rest of the episodes won't air. It's like at least 13. It would have it definitely would have got canceled. It would have got canceled.
This show would have sick to the swimming.
I had nothing against them showing like giving Nathan his own POV of what his life would have turned out to. If it had been differently, I had nothing against that. But I feel like if they wanted to do it, they should have made like a Nathan episode, like just show us his perspective. Having all these, I don't know.
I don't think they should have shown any other characters.
I'm trying to think of what it could have been, because of course you're gonna need the other characters there to give the perspective on it. I just felt like the roles, it didn't mesh well.
Yeah,
the reverse roles, it didn't mesh well. I never bought into it, and like I don't know. I just think if this
I thought this has always been like an unaired pilot of One Tree Hill. Literally, a very unaired pilot of what would have happened. And
the crazy thing is, when I first got into One Tree Hill, this is one of my favorite episodes. Like, I remember being like, oh my god, that episode was so cool. Like, what if the world would have been switched? I used to be like, oh shit, look at that. Now I'm thinking like, this shit's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
Boring is giving me a lot of like, I don't like getting unanswered questions. Like, give me what I need. If not, bitch, you just gonna make my head spiral. So last thing I need to do is overthink because shows don't know how to write shit no more. The fuck?
But yeah, like I said, not a long rant. Let us know what you guys think of this episode in the comments down below. Me personally, it's not my favorite. I definitely feel like towards the second end of season 2 of One Tree Hill, the season definitely tended to drag. Like, there were just a lot of filler episodes towards the end. Like, episode 18 was a filler episode. 19 was cool. 20 is filler.
What's 19 when they go to go see Haley?
No, 19 is when they get in that car accident.
Okay.
And 21 is because episode 22 is when Lucas go to see Haley, him and Brooke, which is a good episode. Episode 23 was good. Episode 21, I'm trying to remember what happened in episode. Actually, I don't remember. That's crazy. For me to not know what happened in episode, like I said, it might be instead of a rewatch. But I might do more One Tree Hill episodes, like analyze it and get my thoughts on it. But thanks for listening. See you guys next time.